All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is good? What is good? What is good? Of course, you know who it is, yours truly, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with another classic live stream for you guys today. I sincerely hope that everybody is having such a blessed evening this day or morning, wherever you are in the world. Doing a quick time check, 8:30 in the AM Philippine time, East Coast time. We're looking at about 8:30 in the PM Central time, about 7:30. Over on the West Coast, of course, about 5:30. And again, I appreciate any of you guys who come in and show some love to the chat tonight. I sincerely hope that everybody is having a blessed day. First and foremost, before I get started on tonight's live stream, I wanted to stress my apologies to my people. I don't really have a reason to be sorry, but I want to stress my apologies before we get into the topic tonight. Over the last few two live streams, I've allowed myself to get off topic when dealing with other people. So I've allowed myself to deviate from, questions asked in the audience or from my people. I've allowed myself to get distracted. So, in order to prevent distractions, some of you may notice that you have been knighted by Dr. Mike Truly, by yours truly, Dr. Mike TV. You have been knighted with a wrench. So, a couple of you guys have wrenches now. And again, please don't be butthurt if you do not have one. Main reason why you don't have one is because the only way that I can give you a wrench is if you've left comments on videos. That way, when I go to the community, I can click the little flag and I can give you guys the authorization to, be a moderator for the live streams and stuff like that. So a couple of you guys have been knighted recently. I know there's a chosen few that I have left out and I haven't got to them yet. I think there's two. I hope that I got them, but I didn't get them yet. But again, guys, I just wanted to apologize real quick because I've allowed myself in the last few live streams to get off topic, and I don't like doing that shit. I like to make sure I stay focused on what's going on and focused on the topic at hand so that we can go ahead and get it in where we fit it in, and I can answer any questions that you guys may have. Okay. So with that being said, I'm blessed to have you guys as an audience. Time and time again, I'll say that. Time and time again, you know that I mean it. But today's topic, definitely one that is well overdue. I've touched on this briefly in the past, just before I got to the Philippines. I did a video on it. I think I did a video similar to the effect of, oh, was it safe for foreigners in the Philippines? Then while I was here, I did a walking night video in Davao City for those that thought Davao City wasn't safe. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about recent foreign issues in the Philippines that have had me thinking. They got me thinking. I don't care if that's proper English or not. They done had me thinking. All right. And these are just a couple of things that come to mind. I mean, I put out that video today about the whole banking thing. I hope you guys watched it. Put a like on there. I definitely hope that you guys have had a moment to check that video out. But if you have not, you can definitely check it out later. With the recent bank issues, then with, you hear about foreigners getting kidnapped, and then you hear about foreigners disappearing or getting shot or caught up in legal battles and stuff like that. It has me thinking, how in the hell did I live in the Philippines for 10 years? 10 years of my life consistently. I'm not talking about back and forth for 2 months at a time or 3 months at a time. I mean, I lived in the city from 2006 until 2017. More specifically, July of 2006 to February of 2017. How the fuck did I do it? But it seems like everybody else around me is having problems. There are certain things that I take into context. There's a lot of things that I think about before I actually choose to go around and maneuver. But are these people not thinking about the exact same thing? Throws me through a loop, guys, and it has my mind just blown over the simple fact that I see people getting fucked up over dumb shit. And I apologize because it is, to me, it's dumb shit. How are you finding yourself in these situations as foreigners in a foreign country getting fucked up over dumb shit? God bless the dead, but damn, a guy like this was before the guy who got, shot over not giving a drink to a guy at a bar. The fuck is that? If you've seen people pushing up on you, you know what that means to me. It's time to go. That's exactly what it means to me. But to like try to badmouth them or to, I don't want, is it save face or whatever, and get yourself killed over a beer? Come on, man. Then you hear about the surfer guy that was reported a while back who got killed. Oh, and it might have been over a legal dispute. I mean, we hearing these damn stories and shit, and I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck is this happening? Like, I lived here 10 years straight. People who have lived here less than me are finding themselves in such the most dramatic and effed up situations, and I'm trying to figure out how and why. And that's the kind of topics that we're talking about tonight, man. These issues in the Philippines and how foreigners are finding themselves in such weird situations that have put them in danger, the lives of their families in danger, whatever it may be. Why is a foreigner putting themselves in such situations when I know for a fact that these situations can be avoided? All right, that's kind of what we got going on right here, man. And I'm just kind of, going through the motions and thinking to myself out loud. I've been thinking for the last 30 minutes before this live stream went live, man, what in the world is going on in the world around me? I hear about it, and I mean, it's happening. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it and act like the shit ain't happening, because you can't sit there and act like it's not happening. Hasn't happened to me, thank God. But I know that I know a way of navigating around my area to prevent myself from being put in such situations. And the guys that are being hurt or the guys that are being killed in these particular situations have lived in the Philippines for a significant amount of time. So it's like they should know, basically they should know better. That's my feeling. But I don't feel like they know any better. You've been here 5-6 years and shit, or you've been back and forth at least for the last 3 or 4 years, and you're gonna tell me that you don't know what to do to avoid putting yourself in such dangerous situations? I mean, it throws me through a loop, guys. It does. And I will tell you this, like, I'm a firm advocate of you know visiting as many places as you can in the Philippines. I mean, I'm definitely a firm advocate of making sure that the places that you do decide to go to are safe. Make sure you never go alone and things like that. But most of these particular situations that have happened recently in the news, as far as foreigners getting killed, are happening in the provincial areas. You understand? They're happening in more provincial areas. I love going to the province, but I'd be damned if I go to the province by myself. I never travel alone. I'm never going to go to the province where I don't know and go to a local bar and drink, because I don't feel safe doing shit like that. If I don't know the area, I'm not going to go out and drink, period. Because I only know my areas. I only go out to drink in areas that I know. If I'm not familiar with the place, anywhere after dark, I make sure I have my ass at home. But you see these situations happening with people getting killed and stuff. That shit throws me through a loop, man. Don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. But it's hurting my feelings that I see a lot of this happening. And as a result, I got people hitting me up talking about Dr. Mike, man. I heard about all of this shit happening in the Philippines, man. What's going on? Is it safe for us or not? And I keep telling them, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. Everything's good. Maybe they just caught themselves in, put themselves in situations that they couldn't handle. But ultimately, I mean, I'm never going to sit there and say that this can't happen to you, because then I'll be lying to myself. That's like saying, nah, man, this shit ain't going to never happen to me. But I'm saying, though, I make sure I don't put myself in situations where this shit could ever happen to me. And I can't say that if you go out a nightlife, have a good drink, and go to the clubs and party up and have the time of your life, I'm not going to sit there and act like this shit can't happen to you. I had a best friend one time. We was outside, we were kicking it, and he called me up. He was like, yeah, me and my girl, we're going to go to this restaurant. And it was a restaurant in the heart of the city. And come to find out, he went there with his girl. They were having a nice little drink and everything like that. He ends up getting into a fight that night because some of the guys at the bar were trying to talk to his girl. Now, as a man, I mean, I understand the whole idea of defending your girl's honor and everything like that, but apparently they were his girl's friends or somebody that she knew from work or whatever. But, he just wasn't feeling the vibe, put a couple drinks in you, and my man ended up trying to fight 5 people and got arrested. So I'm like, damn, if I would have went with him that night, I'm thinking to myself, I would have probably been in the exact same situation, because number one, there's no way in hell I'm going to sit there and let my man fight 5 people by himself. Number two, I'm not going to sit there and let him get his ass kicked. I have no choice. As a man, you have no choice but to defend your homeboy. You have no choice but to have his back, especially if this is somebody you treat like a brother. I'm not going to sit there and let my man get his ass kicked. If I was there, I would have definitely tried to talk him out of the situation. But ultimately, if you can't talk a man out of the situation, you have no choice but to have your man's back, because we all we got. But then again, something dramatic could have happened to me, right? What if I'm sitting there trying to get these guys off of him and I get clocked in the back of the head with a beer bottle or some shit and I get knocked unconscious? And, people don't think about this shit. Worst case scenario, I could have got my shit fucked up. You understand? So if you're not thinking with the right frame of mind, if you're not having this, if you're not projecting shit before you do shit, I kind of feel like that is the reason why foreigners are going to have a lot of issues in the Philippines, guys. I'm telling you, if you don't know how to act, if you don't know how to, change your attitude a little bit, if you don't know how to, analyze the situation before before it happens, you might find yourself in danger. I've been to clubs before a long time ago. This was before I actually stopped going. I've been to clubs before where I was the only foreigner in there, black, white, whatever. I was the only guy in the club that was a foreigner. All eyes are on you at these clubs when you're a foreigner. I don't give a fuck who you are. Don't care if you've been there 100 times. All eyes are on you, because you never know when they're going to get new patrons in there or new people visiting the bar who may not know about you. But when you the newbie, or when you that new dude in the club, everybody going to be looking at you and seeing what you do, see what you're about to do, see how you act, see how you, project, or see how you do things in this club. I mean, you have if you show out, you might get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? If you buy out the bar, if that's your thing, you might get fucked up. If you do something that they don't like, or they see you trying to push up on a female that may quote unquote be theirs, that right there is an instant fight. So if you guys aren't thinking with the right head, man, shit could happen to you in the Philippines. And these are real issues that foreigners have to face. I don't give a fuck who you are. These are real issues that you may have to face. And I don't want anything bad to happen to none of y'all. This is why we bring up this topic of conversation. This is why we have these conversations, because I try to put things into perspective so that my guys do not make mistakes. I do not want you guys to make mistakes that could cost you your life. And I know that seems fucking dramatic. I know, don't get me wrong, it seems hella dramatic, because again, I know that most of you guys that come through and follow me and talk to me and converse with me on a daily basis, I know you guys aren't dumb enough to put yourselves in situations like that. But for the chosen few that kind of stand outside the box and don't know their way around, don't know how to act, don't know how to do their thing, basically your newbies that come around, who knows what could happen, put themselves in a dramatic situation where they may never leave the Philippines. I mean, come on, man, I know that shit sounds crazy, but these are real issues that foreigners face in the Philippines, and this shit right here has got me thinking. All right. And I'm telling you, the type of person that I am, I always think about the worst case scenario first. I don't know about you guys, but I think about the worst case scenario. Whenever I go out to a club or something like that, first thing I do is I scan the whole entire bar. Don't give a fuck who's in there. Before I go in that bitch, I look at everybody around me. And you can tell the suspect crowd when you see one. You can tell when the vibe is just not right. And before I step in there, I look in there and I'll be like, nah, this ain't for me. Right? If I see more dudes than chicks, number one, I'm out. Facts. If I see a bunch of dudes staring at me before I walk in, I'm out. It's just not my vibe. So I'll go somewhere else. Because there are situations that may present themselves where some guy tries to talk to my girl. Then what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to sit there and be no bitch about it. I'm not going to sit there and let some dude talk to my girl right in front of my face. You got to defend her. I never want to put myself in situations like that. I should never have to put myself in situations like that. And neither should you. But again, we're just talking out the side of my head right now. Again, this is the type of shit that I think about. I think about everything that could possibly go wrong when it comes to dealing with my guys as foreigners, okay? Now, you've heard about, instead of, guys have been getting killed, of course, and that sucks ass. And, God bless the dead, man, because that shit's fucked up, okay? But, you have also heard about situations where people have been kidnapped, and taken for ransom, where, the MPA or the rebels living in these areas have been taking foreigners for hostage and getting, trying to get money for them from, the foreign government and stuff like that. You've heard about these stories. Let's address this like real men. First things first, personal story that I know of in Davao City. There was this Chinese guy who was also attacked. He had money, he had businesses, and because of that, he was killed for it. That was just the beginning and end of the story. First, that's what I noticed too. And then, of course, I'm gonna say some shit that may get some people in their feelings. Please do not take this to heart. I want you guys to understand that I'm just speaking from experiences. I'm speaking from what I've seen in the news, and I'm speaking from what I've known from personal instances. Guys, don't lose your shit. A lot of you guys know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud because I'm a grown-ass man and I feel like we all need to hear this, okay? Guys come up to me and ask me, Dr. Mike, they be like, should I be in fear of being kidnapped? I'm like, nah, not really. You just have to be able to coordinate yourself accordingly. But what I have known over the last few stories, over the last few situations where kidnapping has happened and a foreigner was involved, the people that were being kidnapped were of a lighter melanin than myself. If I need to spell that out for you, 9 times out of 10, a person that will be kidnapped is of a lighter skin complexion of my own. Okay? I have never heard of a story in the Philippines about African Americans or people getting kidnapped, stuff like that and held for ransom. I've just never heard of it. Not saying that it hasn't happened. You just got to prove to me that a story like that actually exists. So I'm feeling like, situations like that, I think will pertain more so. I think my brothers of a lighter melanin will probably need to be on a heightened precaution more so than those of my skin complexion. Again, don't take it to heart. This is just real. I mean, if you can tell me a story where you've heard about an African American being kidnapped and shit like that, please let me know. I want to hear the story. I want to see the story. And this is more so specifically in the Philippines, okay? Now, I'm not saying that if we go to the country, speaking about African Americans myself, I'm not saying that if we go to the country and fuck up, we ain't gonna get fucked up. I'll never say that. But I'm just saying though, when it comes to kidnapping, I honestly believe, if you want to know the truth, please don't take it to heart. I just don't think that they think that we have money. Okay. Number one, that's what I think. I don't think that they think that we have money. That's why they don't kidnap us. Number two, I personally don't think that they kidnap us because they may not get no money for us. Maybe they don't feel like the government will pay to get us out of the country. That's just my thoughts. But again, that's just off the top of my head type shit that I think about. All right. Now, again, man, I open the floor to you guys today. Maybe you have another perspective to the conversation. Maybe you approach this differently. But I think that, as a foreigner in general, I don't care what skin color you are, you have to be careful. If you are perceived to have money, you are in danger. And that's a scary thing to say. But if you flash it out and people know that you got it, you definitely putting yourself in situations that could definitely do you harm down the line. So I do believe wholeheartedly that if you don't know how to protect yourself and you don't know how to conduct yourself in certain countries, you might find yourself in a situation that may not be to your favor. You know what I'm saying? If you're that type of person that believes in freedom of speech and you feel like popping off at the mouth with the wrong person, please don't be alarmed. Or don't be shocked or surprised if somebody come at you and give you that same energy that you putting out. If you feel like you about that action, please do not be surprised or alarmed if somebody come at you with that exact same energy and they put it on your ass. Okay. And let's be honest, most of the time they're never alone. All right. So this is the type of things that I think about, guys. And I'm definitely going to get to the chat now because I am so damn late. Guys, my apologies. Dr. Mike just be rambling and shit. But I just want to let you guys know what's on my mind so that I put it out there on the floor. I leave you guys out there to say what you got to say about the entire situation. And then we could go ahead and discuss it as men. All right. So I appreciate you guys listening to me. I see we got 31 individuals watching at this particular moment in time. Please make sure you guys get the likes up on the video. You know how to get to the IPA shirts if you want to. You know how to support the channel if you want to. By all means, I'm just happy that you guys come through and spend a little bit of time with the good doctor today. So shout out to my man PT3000, first one in the building. What's going on, my guy? That's what's up. Andy, I see you've been knighted with the wrench, man. I appreciate you coming through and showing some love. I need you to make sure you keep them hating ass people off my channel. If you see him, get them out of there. My man Aaron Wilson, I see you, my brother. Appreciate you coming through and spending some time. My man Tim H, what's good with your family? Glad that you were able to join us today. And I'm glad that my man Andy says that these shows have been on point and well disputed. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the content. I put this out there for you guys simply because I want you guys to understand that Dr. Mike ain't on no bullshit. I'm here to work for mine. I'm here to grind for mine. And I'm definitely here to give you guys the knowledge that I feel you so rightfully deserve. If you guys don't feel me, I understand. But again, air out your grievances here in the chat and we could go ahead and get it in. All right, I see my man John Bryan. What's going on, family? He says, Dr. Mike, hello, room. Happy Saturday to you, Dr. Mike, and happy Friday to the Westerners. Yes, sir. Hope you guys are having a hell of a good Friday. Definitely hope that the weekend. Shit, I dropped my phone. Sorry, guys. Oh, shit. I hope that the weekend is going to treat you guys well because I'm definitely enjoying my own. All right, let me go ahead and make sure I run through this chat real quick because you guys definitely deserve it. And I know I am late because I always am. All right. Let's see who else we got. My man Montana 27. What's good with your family? Appreciate you showing some love and joining in with the conversation tonight. If this is your first time, I think I've seen you before, man. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just making sure that if it is your first time, welcome yourself to the family properly. Anybody in the chat, man, make sure you say what's up to the good doctor. You can say, hey, what's up, Dr. Mike? Let me know that you're in the building so I can make sure that I give you the love you so rightfully deserve. So he says, what's up, Dr. Mike? Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I'm glad that you are enjoying the chat. I'm glad that you're enjoying the content because Dr. Mike don't believe in no bullshit, bro. I got to make sure that I keep my guys on point. My man, Rain, man, I see that you two have been knighted with the wrench. I appreciate you coming through, man. I hope that you're enjoying your, your level of service because your services probably will be needed. So thank you for coming through. My man, Black Torch, what's going on, man? He said, buy a bottle and drink at home. Yes, sir. That is the absolute best way to go about having fun in the Philippines. A lot of people believe that they have to have this atmosphere where there's 100,000 people in the building and they just got to be around a whole bunch of people. They just social. They got to have all these people in their ass and looking at them and stuff like that. Never been that type and never will. All right. It's not my style. And I think that that's the best way to go about doing business in the Philippines, especially when it comes to hanging out and going out with individuals on a weekend or whatnot. Just find a nice little cozy place to chill. They do have some great places, some safe places for foreigners, of course. But I'm the type of guy that I like to drink at home, man. I just love drinking at home because there's no safer place than the confines of your own spot. Bring the company to you. Best way to say it. So Black Torch, appreciate you showing some love. My man Rob 100 in the building. He says, as fun as the Philippines may be, we tend to forget it's a third world country and anyone can catch it at any time. Stay humble and be alert. Touche, my brother. Touche. Oh yeah, man, we can all get it at any time. None of us are safe. And that's the thing. When I say it, I'm afraid to say that because then I feel like that's the type of shit that people want to hear to deter them from coming to the country. That's why I don't like to say it. But then again, I can only speak for me. That's the problem that I'm going through. I can't speak for everybody else. I've been safe. I've been cool. I've had no problems. But I can't sit there and say that you're not going to have any problems. I mean, like my man says, you stay humble and stay alert, you'll be good. And I believe that that works for everybody. But then again, you got to realize the type of people we talking to. It may not be everybody's cup of tea. My man Black Tour says, never go to the dive bars. Yeah, I try to avoid them like the plague too. John Bryan says, I wish that bars would go out of style. Unfortunately, as long as foreigners like to drink and socialize, meet women out in public, I don't think that bars are going anywhere anytime soon, man. PT is a good thing that you don't drink. But again, if you're just the type of person that likes a social atmosphere, that could put you in a situation too, whether you drink or not. Rob 100 says it don't matter where you live, a foreigner is always a target in the Philippines. Touche. I have to agree. You're always a target. But I believe that you're always a target in the Philippines, but I feel like the best way to put it is you're almost always a target if you make yourself a target. Let me specify. Like if you show that you have something, or if you make it known that you have this, or if you live a lifestyle that people see and they be like, I think he got more than what he says, so I feel like he's trying to stun on us, so they feel a certain kind of way, that will definitely make you a target. My man Black Tour says, never fight over a girl. I believe it 100%. Never fight over a chick. But that's the thing. Imagine if I would have went with my boy that night. That's the situation I'm talking about. He was out with his girl, and him and his boys. I mean, hold on. How can I say this? The guys were trying to talk to his girl, and he was just like defending the girl, I guess. And then him being my homeboy, imagine me not taking his back. So that kind of put me in a tough situation too. If I had been there, I would have been forced to make that move. Is that a move that I would have wanted to make? Hell, nah, man. I'm a grown-ass man, and I damn sure don't fight over no chick, especially if that chick ain't my own. But again, that's what you do for your brothers, all right? So that's kind of, that's kind of things you gotta gotta think about. You gotta think about the types of people you choose to associate yourselves with too. That's definitely something to take into consideration. And considering all the recent foreign issues I've been talking about, I think that is something that would be very, very beneficial to you in the long run. Kind of considering or taking into consideration the people that you choose to associate yourself with. My man John Bryan says some people who go to bars have issues. It's best not to be around them. Very true. Eyes on, I see you in the building, family. Appreciate you showing some love, man. Black Torch says again, buy a bottle and drink at home. Yes, sir. I believe that drinking at home is the best way to go about it. But some people just ain't about that action. They just got to be around people. I think that's considered one of the issues that John Bryan is mentioning. They're the type of people that need to be in a social atmosphere, that need to be around people in order to feel something. Never been that type of guy, and I never will be that type of guy. My man A-Tech Network, appreciate you coming through. My man said he would get in Filipinos that work. Yeah, man. I mean, now don't get me wrong. You guys don't know about my homeboy, but he's very, very into like working out. So he's definitely in shape, dude. Dude's buff as fuck, man, and he does like mixed martial arts. So I felt more so bad for those guys than I felt for him. I'm just saying that if I had to be there, he probably could have handled himself. He didn't need me per se, but I would have had to been there to at least have his back. That's what I'm trying to say. I see we got 40 people watching, man. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you guys coming through, man. Make sure you get the likes up on this video. Dr. Mike would highly appreciate that. All right. Black Torch, you're 100% correct, man. Got to choose your friends wisely. If you want to avoid some of these issues in the Philippines, got to choose your friends wisely for sure. I see, A-Tech, man, I can't be around you, man, because you look like the type of person that's ready for some action, man. I can't do it, man. He's talking about I wish somebody would come and try and start some shit with me. See, that's the type of shit right there that's gonna get you in a fight. And I know you look like the type of person that's ready to put the hands on somebody, and I just can't get it. My man Black Pablo in the building. What's going on, family? He said never let your guard down ever. You can't. I mean, in a foreign country, period, you should never let your guard down. Always got to be on your P's and Q's. And I hate to say it, but it's probably more of a necessity in third world countries than anywhere else in the world. But again, you should always make sure that you stay on your P's and Q's regardless. My man Pedro's in the building. What's going on, family? I'm glad that you were able to catch a live, man. Y'all make sure you get the likes up on the video. Dr. Mike would highly appreciate that for sure. John Bryan says, especially mediocre dudes, haters that could be a fight when they drink too much. Yeah, that's the problem. That's one of the main reasons why I avoided going to clubs and stuff like that, because I'm not the type of person. I don't like confrontations. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. And the main reason I don't like confrontation is because it's always going to end bad for somebody. Okay. Now, see, I grew up in a community, in an environment where let's say, for example, I knew two guys. I'll give you an example. Knew two guys. They went to high school with me together. I mean, we all went to the same high school, I should say. And the problem is, you know how when you fight somebody and you lose, but you lose in front of somebody, you got to come back at that person stronger. So basically, the dude that lost, he kept trying to come back and get old boy, but when he couldn't beat him with his hands, he came back with a knife and a gun and like shit like that. So that kind of, when people don't know how to squat up with their hands, or they ain't willing to take an L or lose face, like most Filipinos, they come back with weapons. If they know that they can't fight you hand to hand, they gonna come back with weapons. I don't give a fuck. They gonna come back with weapons, and if it's not weapons, it's gonna be family, cousins, brothers, uncles, best friends, whatever it may be. They're gonna come back with somebody. If they take an L, they're not going to live with that L. They're going to come back at you and keep coming back at you and keep coming back at you until they get a victory. Then when they get a victory, that victory may cost you your life. That's the type of shit that I don't like. And that's the reason why I avoid confrontation at all costs, because I know that if I put the hands on somebody and I beat that ass, that'll never be the end of it. I know this for a fact. It will never be the end. It's never ending story. Nobody knows how to just take an L and move on anymore, because everybody's embarrassed that they lost. So the only way that they're going to win is if they kill you. That's it. That's the end game. Somebody's got to die. It's going to be you or it's going to be them. And that's the type of mentality that I can't live with. Damn sure the type of mentality I can't fuck with. That's why I avoid people at all costs. I ain't really that social anyways. But I'm just telling you, if you want to avoid these issues that I'm talking about, man, you might have to like stay in a couple of times. You might have to chill, just be standoffish, be that observant person, be that type of person that they'd be like, why he always looking at people like that? Because you try to make sure that you stay on top of yours so that you don't take an L and you don't get caught slipping. All right, my man Smooth Riffs to the building. What's going on, family? Appreciate you showing some love. He says, always stay alert and low key. Oh, yes, man. Dr. Mike is so low key, man. You can't find me for shit. People be looking for me and they be like, where Mike at? You ain't gonna see me, man, because I don't really like put myself out there like most people would. My man Montana 27 says smart move. He said move smart and have fun. Touche. All right. My man PT kind of has the same mentality as myself. He says, I sit back, I watch things and move slow when it comes to the bar scene. Exactly. When I come in the building, I definitely don't put myself in a situation where I'm going to get hurt. So Liz said we only had 8 likes, man. Liz, I hope that you are enjoying being knighted as one of the only ladies who has a wrench in the building. Thank you for coming through and showing some love. When you are here, you are definitely best in attendance. And shout out to hashtag Team Davao. If you ain't about that Davao life, you ain't about shit. My man Michael Booth in the building. Been a while, my brother, man. I'm glad to see you in the building. I'm glad to see that you're having fun. If I remember correctly, you told me that you were in Tokyo. I don't know if you're still in Japan right now, but if you are, enjoy that life, man. Black Torch asked the question about any kidnappings in Luzon. None that I've heard of recently. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened, but I haven't really been up to date on the Luzon, on the Luzon area, or if there has been any kidnappings in there. My man Cal Winston said kidnap for ransom. It ain't nothing to fuck with, man. It is business as usual, and they do business owners. It is usually business owners, Chinese and Korean. Yes. Yeah, more so in the Philippines, it is business owners. But again, if it is foreigners like European or whatever it may be, yeah, they tend to go for a different type of individual, or I should say they have a specific type. Yeah, Black Torch. I don't believe that dude will pay for us. That's why they don't fuck with us. I'm laughing, but I'm just being real, man. I just don't feel like they fuck with us like that. So John Bryan says, I look half Filipino. I heard it's an advantage. It is an advantage, and you should keep that advantage. If you look like you one of them, you good to go. Once you start talking and they realize you're not one of them, I don't know how that game gonna play. Me, myself, and I says in the Philippines, lighter skinned are considered more valuable, so it makes sense. True. They are more valuable than us considerably. Well, who are we to say? I'm just being honest with what I've seen, and that's just the way it's always been. Nothing, no skin off my back. I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings that they value me less in that particular situation. I would want to be valued less. So, I mean, I take that in stride, but I just want, like I said, I want my brothers of a lighter melanin to navigate a little bit, on a more alert scale than everybody else would have to. But again, you are right when it comes to the kidnapping of the Korean and Chinese business owners. That type of kidnapping happens consistently. More so than it would of somebody kidnapping a foreigner, from a first world like, America or something like that. My man Dave Wise in the building. What's going on, family? Appreciate you showing some love, family. Terry Edwards was good, family. Appreciate you showing some love. My man Jordan made it in. Was good with you, player. Black Torch, man. You already said what's up to the good doctor, man. I caught you, fam. Rob 100 says they don't think blacks have money. Exactly. They won't waste their time kidnapping black people. They will just kill them. Okay, well that's even fucked up. He said a black foreigner got shot in his head in AC during the summer and died. Okay, so there is a story. So there's one. Okay. All right, you could probably count the stories on one hand. But I'm just saying, no, they don't kidnap us. You're right. But then again, what would be the purpose? What did he do? If you know the story, can you explain what did he do to put himself in that situation wherein he just got shot? Because it's almost impossible that they would kill the man for no reason. I would like to know what he did so that I can at least justify why, or I can at least find a reason to understand how he put himself in that particular situation. My man Salgus in the building. What's going on, family? He says, man, spent some time in Brazil and had a colleague get kidnapped for ransom. Damn. We were always told to stay in, but I was hard-headed. Did get followed once, dude. Followed the wrong man. See? Sometimes you got to make sure you keep yourself on point, man. This shit is no joke, guys. This shit is nothing to fuck with. If you guys think this is a game, Y'all need to understand that this is they go for people. Hey, I try to avoid it at all costs. I don't really go out at night. And if I do go out, I go out with people, a cluster of us. I don't really like going out alone. It doesn't serve me any purpose to be out by myself. Like I said, if I'm out at midnight by myself, then I'm probably up to no good. Keep it real with you, man. I'm probably up to no good. So that's probably not the best time for me to be out. I'm doing something I don't have no business if I'm out after a certain time. You know what they say? Don't nothing good happen at 2 a.m. in the morning or after 2 a.m. in the morning. That's exactly the model that I live by. So if I'm out at 2 a.m. or beyond and I'm not with my girl, then I'm up to no good. So chances are you'll never catch me out at that time. My man Fed Up says, "Hey, Dr. Mike, I'm white, and they think we are loaded. Yeah, oh well, they made a big mistake taking my butt going to have to shoot me later." Tell you, man, sometimes, like I said, and maybe, yeah, like I said, they'll come after, people of a lighter melanin, like I like to say, and they'll think that they'll get something for it, but chances are they may not get anything for it. If you're looking for the president to pay for your ransom, I mean, you're better off looking to that person's family first to see what that family's willing to pay to get them back. So, I just don't know, man. But you guys got to be careful overall. Trust me, I'm not doing this live stream to scare anybody. I am not doing this live stream to scare you. I am doing this specifically for one purpose and one purpose only: informational, educational. I want you guys to understand that this is what happens. This is what could happen if you're not careful. That's all it is, bro. All it is. Fed Up, I see that you have been knighted with a wrench, my brother. Thank you for coming through, and I hope that you enjoy it. Black Torch says, "Did you live in the dorm or off campus? Which is safer?" See, the thing is, Black Torch, the thing with dorms, they're not actually on campus in the Philippines. All right. See, me, I lived off campus. Like, we had our house. Our house was like 45 minutes outside the city. So I used to have to travel into the city every day. And, that was just the way that I had to do it. It was cheaper, take a Jeep and whatnot. So I lived off campus, if that's what you want to call it. But actually, there's not really a lot of dormitories on campus. So, like, there's dorms across the street from the college, there's dorms near the college. Of course, all of them have a curfew that the girls need to be inside for, or whatever. Only the girls were allowed to stay in the dorms that were actually on campus. Excuse me. So if you wanted to ask which ones were safer, I mean, I would say it doesn't really matter, because it just depends on whether you actually went home, like, especially on the weekends and stuff. Those girls like to stay out, so if they stay out, they may stay at somebody's house. So most of the time, people only stayed in the dorms during the weekdays, but on the weekends they would stay out and only come home or come back before curfew on a Sunday night or something like that. But I mean, you were pretty much safer all the time in Davao for the most part. But females, you definitely have to make sure that they look out for each other, or they have to make sure that they look out, no doubt. So Kenny Mack, what's going on, family? Been a while. He said it's dangerous everywhere, to be honest. It is dangerous everywhere. And shit can happen to me in my own home city. Shit can happen to me right here in Davao on the street outside my girl's house. It can happen to me trying to walk to the 7-Eleven to go get some food. It can happen to me anytime, any place, anywhere. But I always make sure that I look out for me. I make sure that I put myself in a situation where I am not gonna get fucked up like that. I try to make sure that I avoid things like that at all costs. Fed Up says, "What is up with Thailand and Philippines making it hard to get our money in?" I don't know, man. I think they're trying to prevent, like, not fraud, because fraud is not the right word to use. I heard that word used earlier. I wouldn't say it's fraud. They're trying to just prevent people from stealing from the government, or like stashing money or some shit, terrorism and whatnot. They're just trying to look out for stuff like that. It's weird, but yeah, they try to get on us for all of that. Pisces 904, what's going on, family? Appreciate you coming through. My man says, "I travel solo." Hey, good for you, man. And I like to travel solo too. Like I said, when I go to the country before I meet my girl, yeah, I'm definitely by myself for the most part. But you just gotta be careful. That's all I ever ask, my guys. I only ask you guys straight up. You gotta be careful. Rayman says, "I am in grape shape because I'm round, and round is a shape." Do you think that you're kidnappable? That's my question to you. Do you think that they would kidnap you, man? If you don't think so, then hey, man. Hey, I want to know if you could be kidnapped if you're around. Fed Up says never walk alone in LA. Psh, I don't even think that I would ever go to LA at all, man. I don't think that's the place for me. DC, I know that shit dangerous. Baltimore too, Maryland, all that shit. I do. I hate fighting with a passion, bro. I don't like confrontation. That shit doesn't do me any favors because nobody wins. Nobody wins at all. Anti-gravity was good with you, family. Thank you for just calling me Dr. Phil, Mike. You know what it is. I'm therapeutic in this bitch. I'm over here trying to lay that game so that I can keep my phone safe because I do this for you guys. Fuck, I've already lived that life. I've lived a hell of a good life. I've been there. I've done that. Dr. Mike is looking for new adventures, but while I'm still here, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell you everything that I know to keep you guys safe. Shout out to my boy Derek Floyd, always showing love to the channel, man. I appreciate you, my brother. As always, appreciate you coming through and showing some love, man. Thank you for the donation, man. Fed Up says I walked by an LA bar, 3 dudes outside. I asked one for the time he got into a hater mode. I only asked for the time. That's the reason why you don't fuck around with certain people, man. That's the reason you don't fuck around with certain people. PT says, me too. I hate fighting, but I'm always ready to give out a 2-piece and a biscuit. Oh, yes, man. That Pies 2-piece of the biscuit, thigh, and a breast part, nigga. I'm going to give you the big parts of this shit. Because if they about that action, man, you better be ready to squat up at a moment's time. That's the problem, man. I hate it, dude. I hate confrontation. Y'all don't understand. Because I know it's only going to end bad. It's either going to end bad for me or it's going to end bad for them. And then 9 times out of 10, if I'm on my game, it's going to end bad for them. And that's just the type of shit that I'm not ready for because I already know that the retaliation is going to come. If they know me or know about me, know where I'm from, know where, where I'm living at or currently staying, man, the retaliation will never be good. So I just avoided shit like the plague. Chosen One, you make a great point, man. He said I would never fight a local because you should never fight somebody who has nothing to lose. Exactly. That is the best advice that you could possibly give anybody. Don't fight somebody who has nothing to lose. If they have nothing to lose, guess what? They have everything to gain. And do you want somebody gaining off you? I don't think so. So you might want to be careful with the way you choose to navigate. That's all I would ever tell you guys. Just be careful how you navigate. Be careful how you do things. Because if you cross the wrong one, man, I don't care how big you are. I don't care how big you are opposed to them or whatever. Whether you're bigger or not, all I'm telling you is this. You could always lose. Remember that. There's always a chance you could take an L. That's what you don't want. John Bryan asked, do they have pit bulls in the Philippines? I've seen one. He said, I haven't seen any, but I would love to have a pack protecting my place. I've only seen one. I don't believe that they breed. I don't think they breed pit bulls in the Philippines. Sorry about that, guys. Fed Up, man. Y'all gotta listen to Fed Up, man. Y'all gotta make sure y'all hit the like button on this video, man. Dr. Mike would highly be appreciative if you guys get the likes up on this video, man. Dr. Mike don't ask for much. A like is free, baby. Like and a smile. That's what we look for right now. My man's trying to shout out. Is it Bayugan? Hashtag Bayugan and my Gatasan. Jesus Christ, man. I gotta work on my shit. My Gatasan. Ah, shit. My man Cornbread said he was kidnapped in Luzon. Tell me how that story went, man. That shit crazy. Nah, if you're not living in the Philippines, you shouldn't want a bank account. No tourists. They will never give you a bank account on a tourist visa. I got lucky because I could prove that I was a student and that I would use the bank account for what they call it, for allowances or some shit. I told them that I needed it for my allowance. So they ended up letting me get it. That was the reason why I was able to open my bank account. My man Malcolm in the building. What's going on? My man MJB in the place to be. Appreciate you showing some love to the good doctor in the building. That's what's up. They could be a tourist for 3 years, but yet and still you're on a tourist visa. So chances are they won't give it to you. Cornbread, that is a very interesting story, man. They kidnapped you and let you go. If you start praying and shit, I do believe that they might let you go. I mean, that's how can I say this? Most Filipinos, whether you call them criminals or whatever, most of them have a high fear of God. I think that might be your saving grace. Everybody in the country, criminal or not, hard gangster motherfucker, whatever you may say, I do believe that majority of them have a fear of God. And if you tell them, may God have mercy on their souls, something to that effect, you'll definitely hopefully you should be able to have your life spared. But guys, this shit's scary, man. To hear people get robbed and tied up and kidnapped, that stuff don't sit kosher with most people. And that's the type of shit that scares people away from the country. And that's what I try not to do, not to promote. But again, I can't stop this shit from happening. And I just think that you need to really put yourself in a situation where you're never out by yourself. All right. Make sure you're with people you could trust, because you don't want to be out there and just get taken, man. I've seen the movie Taken. I've seen all three of them. That shit don't look kosher to me. That sucks, Rob. I agree, man. That shit sucks. My man Fred Funky in the building. What's going on, Fred? Appreciate you. Sorry, coming through and showing some love to the good doctor, man. My man John says, Dr. Mike, what are some of the good stories your dad has about living in the Philippines before you went there? Well, good stories that my dad had about the Philippines. Well, my dad had been in the Philippines probably about 2 or 3 years. I think he had visited for the first time in 2001. I didn't visit him for the first time until 2005. So he was at least living there full time for probably about 2 or 3 years before I actually visited him for the first time. So, I mean, he has a lot to say. Well, let me tell you, my dad's an interesting character. My dad used to love to go to the bars and stuff. And I think back in that time, they had bars up and down in the area of Ermita Malate. So he used to always talk about the bar scene and everything like that. My dad loves going to the club. He didn't really care for the bar fines or nothing like that, but he'd sit down, have a drink, and enjoy watching the girls dance. That was his thing. That was his favorite pastime. He grown ass man. And that was the type of lifestyle he introduced me to when I first got there. So you can only imagine the stories that man could tell me. More of the stories dealt with females and stuff like that. But he definitely he's lived a life for a few lifetimes, man. But he's had some good stories. But other than that, other than the females and the bar scenes and stuff like that, one of the things about living in the Philippines that he was really adamant about is being able to put his money in a place that was comfortable for him, because he doesn't really believe in you know putting his money in the states where they could do too much to it. So he'll just put his money where he believes it should do the most work for him. And back then, speaking of which, back then, whenever he was doing his contract work, you would put money in the banks and you would get higher percentages than they give out now, man. He said that they could go up as high as 5-10% of whatever you putting in there. So that was one thing that he liked about the system before, at least the banking system in the Philippines when he first got there. Like the interest earned on time deposits and shit like that, he definitely enjoyed that a lot. Mm. Man, that's a hell of a story, man, Cornbread. Kidnapping ain't nothing to fuck with, but I'm glad that you came on and shared your story, brother. I appreciate that. Me, myself, and I says not having the right to bear arms worries me about the living in a third world country. In the U.S., I stay strapped. You know what? That is definitely something that most foreigners do not know. But I think that you should understand that foreigners are not allowed to have weapons at all. I think we can have knives. I think we're allowed to buy knives, but as far as guns, foreigners can't have no guns in the Philippines. And I don't know why that is. I guess I should understand it simply because maybe they just don't want to give us guns, but their locals can stay armed and everybody else can have a gun, but I can't. That shit don't seem right to me, but I can't question it. Hmm. So Ethiopia doesn't have guns, Malcolm? Never heard that one, but hey. Mm. Rob 100 says there's a lot of incidences that go unreported in the Philippines. Very true. So my boy lives in AC and he's been robbed 3 times, but the power of the he's been robbed 3 times by the power of the Poo, and because the power of the Punan is real. Got you. He will not leave the Philippines. Boy, stop. That shit ain't worth my life, bro. They do. I think they do have pit bulls in the Philippines, Terry. Like I said, man. I understand the question. Like I said, I've seen very few. I didn't know that they breed them there, but I've seen them. My man, Philippines with John Doe. What's going on, man? He said, seen every breed of dog in the Philippines, including Huskies. I have seen Huskies. I have seen Chow Chows, but I did not come across like a purebred pit bull. But I'm pretty sure that they do exist. Philippines with John Doe says that every bank branch in the Philippines can have different rules. I do agree with that. It would be just a damn shame once they start to all synchronize. Again, my bank basically kind of laid that out for me. So, I have to live with my bank because that's clearly the only bank that I could fuck with because I'm not going to be able to open up another bank account. So, especially because my ACR card has already lapsed, so my visa where I was a student at the time that had me living in the country for a significant period of time, I can't use that no more. I come through on a visa tourist in the visa tourist, a tourist visa. What a visa tourist, a tourist visa only. If somebody tried to kidnap me, cornbread, I'd be scared too, man. And like John Doe says, man, there's no such thing as a fair fight in the Philippines, man. No such thing. Well, yeah, John Bryan, the Taken movies are just made for theatrics, but the real story behind sex slavery is not. That's some pretty depressing shit to hear about, I'm telling you. You're right, Fed Up. You got to be flexible in the Philippines, man. You just got to be flexible. He said there was nothing wrong with enjoying a floor show back in the day. Oh man, he enjoyed it every night, man. Just chilling at the bar with a drink in hand and just enjoying the scenes, man. That was his shit. That was the best thing to him right there. He said I walked into the LTO and got a driver's license without a problem. Yep, me too. I didn't have to take no test. I didn't do anything. I did have to show them my American license, but other than that, that was it. That was the only thing I had to do. Show them that I had an American license, and then they gave me mine. Gave my shit just easy, very easy. I mean, sometimes it's just about the money, guys. Let's keep it real. Sometimes it's just about, okay, do you have the money to pay for it? Yes or no. If you do, all right. My man Derek says, tell them you African, they won't rob you. In fact, they will give you money. That's funny, but it's probably true, man. That's kind of funny, but it's probably true. They probably will hook you up real tight. They'd be like, can I help you? Can I help you with your shit? Shout out to my man Tony Towers in the building. What's going on, family? Hashtag Team Dav out in this bitch. I appreciate you showing some love to the family, man. I'm glad to see you in the building. Guys, I see we got about 25, maybe 32. I can't tell which one it is. I'm seeing two different things right now. Appreciate you guys coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. Let's make sure we get the likes up on the video. Definitely want to make sure that we share this one with all of our people out there and anybody who catches it on the replay. I appreciate you guys coming through and showing some love. But I mean, we're just keeping it real tonight, man. The recent issues with foreigners in the Philippines, they just got me thinking, man. And I think that I'm not the only one thinking that this may not be right for everybody. And I do know for a fact that the Philippines is not the right place for everybody. It's not going to be the right fit for everybody. It just depends on you. If you want to come check it out, by all means, please do. I encourage that 100%. But you got to make sure that you're on your P's and Q's. Got to make sure that you're safe about this. You got to make sure that you're safe about your approach to doing things in the Philippines, activities, where you choose to stay, what you choose to do after hours. Just make sure that you're on top of that game, because I'm telling you, it's disappointing. It's disappointing when I hear about stories about guys being caught up in such, unfortunate situations. It's a shame. It's crazy. It does exist, but it's a shame that, I that we have to deal with this. I mean, but then again, this is something we should already know about. This should not be no secret. This should not come as a surprise. This should not be something that you're taken back, flabbergasted, or shocked about. Dude, it's the Philippines, bruh. If you're not on it, if you're not alert, they catch you slipping. All I can say is good riddance, man. Just hope that they only take your money and they don't take your life with it. I mean, you just gotta be on that type of shit right now. Oh, they had a dog show at Mall of Asia in last December. He said there were a lot of beautiful pit bulls. See, I don't catch them. I mean, I'm sure that they're there. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that they're there. I just didn't know that they breed, or if they do breed, they breed in certain areas. I just don't see that type of shit in Davao. That's for sure. Mm. Let's see. So my man PT asked, "Do I think that foreigners have a price on their head in the Philippines?" I don't think so, man. I kind of feel like that's an over exaggeration. Uh, but I do think that, see, that's a hard one to say, because most times when people get killed and like put in situations where kidnapping is involved, they think that you have something. So the only way that there's an actual price on your head is if people actually think that you have something. You got to show them that you got some shit before they actually try to get you for something. They have to have stalked you or been around you or seen the places that you go to eat, see what you choose to do before they've made the move to get you, because nobody's just going to get at you if they don't think that they're going to get something out of you. I mean, give some Filipinos some credit where credit is due. They're not just going to jump at you in the hopes that you have something. Most of them do their research, or at least try to. They'll be like, "Oh, I saw him pull out his wallet and he had this in his wallet or some shit." They look at something. All right, so they're not just going to get at you for no reason. I don't think so. Right, as long as they think that you have something, that's a problem. And I mean, they don't just come to this conclusion by accident. It has to be something that you have done while in their presence that has shown them that you may potentially have something to, or something that they can take from you, I should say. You're right, John Doe. 80% of foreigners are just hitting the bars, and that's probably where they're getting fucked up the most. I mean, that's their whole gig, man. I ain't gonna be mad at them. Get political, get into land disputes, legal cases, money lending, and you opt to be killed. Yeah. And that's the thing. I just can't believe that a foreigner would ever get into like lending or getting money or dealing with land, period. That's just dangerous, man. I don't know how this shit happens, because you do not want to argue with a Filipino over land. People die over stuff like that. Like you said, legal disputes. People die over this stuff. And, I heard it, man. People could get killed for cheap. And that's no lie. That's no lie. People can get killed for cheap. It ain't cheap in the Philippines, but it's the price of your life may be as low as $500, 25,000 pesos for the price of your life. Think about that. You're gonna take a bullet to the head for 500 US dollars. That shit right there that shit makes you think harder. Like, bruh, come on, man. That's the price of your life, especially in the Philippines, man. You just never know, guys. You got to make sure you stay on your P's and Q's. That's all I'm saying. I say if you getting into a disagreement with a landlord, time for you to move. Getting into a disagreement with land, disputes and shit, time to go. Any kind of legal situation where money is involved and people are looking to get something out of you, but you're not willing to give or whatever, I mean, you might have to reconsider your area or the place of living, because you might want to just get the hell out, because they kill you for cheap. If they know that they could get something out of it for killing you, or let's say that it was an accident that you got into, but they're found to be at fault, Hell, all they got to do is get rid of you, and they ain't got to pay you shit. So, I mean, it just, there's a lot of different ways this shit could get right, man. There's a lot of different ways this shit could go wrong. My man Fed Up says they think you have something and they did their research. Something about you, something that you did in front of them has proven to them that you got something. That's all I'm telling you, bro. Something that you've done has shown them that you got something. So, who drives a Benz in Manila? That's stupid. No, never mind. That is not dumb. I've seen a couple of people driving those old style Mercedes Benz, not the new ones, but them old style shits. They be killing it. Yeah, leave it to John Doe to be as blunt as humanly possible. Yeah, they do choose the rich businessmen for sure, for the most part. Like I said, they may not kidnap those broke foreigners, but they may take them for a brief period of time and see what they got from them, see what they can get from them, and then shoot them. Like I said, it's all a matter of perception. I do believe that it is all a matter of perception. My man Fed Up believes that I'm gonna hit 2,000 soon. I pray that I do, man. I got a lot of shit to say, and I'm trying to make sure I have you guys along for the ride. Please believe Dr. Mike is here to put in that work. I have no problem coming on here live and giving you guys whatever it takes for you guys to understand that Dr. Mike is here to prove to you guys, to educate you guys, and help you guys understand a little bit of what I know about my time and experience in the Philippines, so that if you're a first timer coming through or whatever it may be, you guys are ready. I'm not going to say that you're going to be 100,000% ready, but at least you'll have a little bit of knowledge behind you to help keep yourself pushing forward. That's all I could ever do. As long as I helped out somebody today, that's all I care about, man. Yep, guns for hire, John Doe. That's how they settle disputes. That's too much. Mm, mm. Oh, nah, I have to approve some comments. Some comments aren't just automatic, so sometimes I have to approve the comments. That's why it shows up like that. It'll be held for review until I get to it and I actually approve it. But I think some people with my wrenches can do it too. Like I said, guys, that's what I do. I had to knight some people with some wrenches, man. Like I said, if you leave comments on videos, I could definitely hook you up with a wrench. My man said I'd be afraid to drive a car there. Yeah, you don't want to get into no accidents in the Philippines. It's not fun. Been in a couple myself. Sucks. But hey, it's all good. 430 Mills, what's going on, family? He says I got the same thing Mayweather put on Pacquiao. Them hands. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming through and showing love. They do got them guns though, man. Them little pea shooters, whatever you call it. They gonna put that work to them, man. I'm telling you, they don't fight fair. I'll tell you right now. Filipinos don't fight fair. Most people I know in my own damn area don't fight fair because they don't have them hands. And because they don't have them hands, they gonna come back with they gonna come back with knives and guns. You remember the saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight? Don't bring no hands to a knife fight. Don't bring no hands to a gunfight because I said, nigga, unless you my man from the Matrix, man, you ain't gonna be dodging no bullets, man. They gonna piece your ass up like Swiss cheese, man. And you don't want that type of, nobody wants that. Just keeping it real, man. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nah, Fed Up, his comments aren't censored. They just have to be approving. Like, I have the option to show or hide comments. That's all it is. It just depends. YouTube basically says, oh, we're holding this comment because we don't know if it's appropriate for you. Yeah, I have to approve it. That's all. So you have the option to show or hide it. That's why I had to wait till I read it or when I got to it to actually show it up. So that's all it is. There you go. Filipinos don't fight fair, guys. I told you. He says 3 or 4 of their cousins and shit on one foreigner. Oh, yes. Please believe. They know they can't take a foreigner one-on-one. So you definitely going to have to fight at least 3 people minimum. 3 people minimum. Are you ready for that? It's my question to you. Are you ready for that action, man? I'm telling you. Are you ready to get into a fight with a Filipino knowing that there may be 2 or 3 other people that are going to jump in on top of you? I honestly have never seen a fair Filipino fight. Don't care if they're fighting their own. Don't even have to be a foreigner. I've never seen a fair fight ever. It's always two people on one person. Sometimes three people on one person. It just, there's no I don't see it ending well for us. That's why I don't believe in confrontation. I avoid that shit like the plague, and I think that you should too. Anything that allows you to be in a confrontation with the Filipino, whether it be legal disputes, land disputes, like we talked about before, any of that stuff, just try to find a way to settle it or just let it go because I don't see you winning. I don't see you winning at all. You do realize it's you, the foreigner, versus the Filipino in the Philippines. You versus the local. Who you think they're gonna side with? Think about it. Who you think they're gonna side with? I don't see that. I don't see things going your way or towards your favor in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, fed up. You gotta leave them fighting days behind you, brother. Uh, it ain't worth it anymore, man. I'm too old for that shit. Black Torch says, "Do they attack students?" You talking about foreign students? Anything can happen. I knew a dude that got beat up, but he was just talking shit. He was a foreigner guy from Ateneo de Davao University. He was just talking too much, and the guys got tired of him and they jumped him. So yeah, they do attack students, but you got to put yourself in a situation to be attacked. If you put that dickish behavior out there, oh, it's not going to be well received, guys. You can't just pop off at the mouth to anybody. Remember where you are. So some foreigners, yeah, I've seen a kid get attacked, but he deserved it. That's the funny part. He deserved it, but ain't nobody touch me. Nah, I don't put myself out there like that. My brother, nah. You gotta like really put yourself in a situation for them to attack you like that. Most of the time, they won't even know if you're a student unless you're in uniform, though. You know, and I walked everywhere, so I look broke. That's pretty much what it is. I mm, can't live that life, guys. It's not worth it. I'm telling you. I like that, Rob. When they go for that beer, hey, my brother, buy us a beer. It's time for you to get the hell up out of there, man. You said you got it. Terry says I have those feet walk away from trouble before it escalates. Exactly. You guys gotta understand, man. You gotta be on top of your game before the shit gets worse. The bar scenes are very bad, John. You're right. You gotta stay away from that shit. Just walk away. It's not worth it. Now, again, I've been in situations where I've hung out with friends. All right. I've hung out with friends. I'm in a group of about 5, 6, 10 people. I'll do it then when I'm with a group of people. Won't nobody fuck with you in a group. They won't do that. They won't do that at all. They won't fuck with you in a group. But I'm telling you, find yourself alone. Find yourself alone. And who knows how that's gonna end for you, man. Who knows how that's gonna end. My man Smooth says as long as the exchange rate tips in our favor, like 54 to the dollar, foreigners will always be kind of like a target in one way or another. It all comes down to economics. We go there to make our. Oh, you didn't finish the statement, but I feel where you're coming from, man. Yeah, any foreigner in the country may be a target, but I think it's what you do while you're in the country that kind of puts you on people's radar. There's a difference between being a target, a potential target, and being on somebody's radar. In order for you to be on somebody's radar, bruh, you have to actually have done something for people to see you. So you had to have done something for people to see you. That puts you on somebody's radar. Just being a normal target, I mean, hell, they could say I'm a target too. I mean, because I'm a foreigner, you could just say that. But whether you do something to put people to, pique people's interest, like, yo, I seen where he lived at. He got a nice house. Or, oh, you see that car he's driving? That's a nice car. You see that ring he's wearing? That's a nice ring. You see that necklace? I like that necklace. That makes you a target. That puts you on somebody's radar for sure. My man John says, Dr. Mike, which countries in Africa do the Africans come from? that are in the Philippines? You know, a good question. There you go, Rob. Thank you for answering that because I had no answer. He said Nigeria and Ghana. Thank you, because I had no answer for that. I was thinking about it. I just didn't know which ones it was. Okay. So my man Smooth was saying you got to make your money stretch and they look for better ways of life to come up. So they look at us. John, yep, John Doe, I agree, man. You gotta walk away. Just walk away. Those local bars will never do you any favors, bro. I'm telling you, if you see no foreigners in there, walk away. You walk in there, you see the eyes on you, walk out. There's just no getting around that shit. Just don't do it. You know? Oh, there's a lot of Ghanaians in the United States. Didn't know that. He said, "Are Filipino knife and stick fighting arts such as Cali Arnis Eskrima popular and practiced by the locals? I used to practice Filipino martial arts many years ago. I don't think that that's they may practice that in some areas, but to say it's a common practice, no. It's not a common practice. There may be some people who do, but it's not something that's like immediately on people's radar." 4:30, my man says a lot of these foreigners getting into altercations and getting killed would be perceived as an easy lick in the States too. That's true. I think it is about image too and perception. If you give off that image that you easy to get fucked with, then you might get tested. Again, you might get tested. Who am I to say that you won't? The observer. I agree, man. If you put yourself out there, you know, I think people know who they can mess with and who they won't mess with. I mean, they see that. They'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna fuck with him. You can look at somebody and say you ain't gonna fuck with him. So I do agree with that too. Like they know who they can get over on and who they shouldn't mess with. They know when they need to bring in 100 of their cousins or if they only need to bring in 5 of their cousins. Those are the type of people, that's the type of thinking that most Filipinos are about. Terry Edwards said you gotta be humble. I agree. Gotta stay humble in this bitch. Rob says I tried to holler at a couple of African girls in the Philippines and didn't get the time of day. You know what, man? That's an interesting thing because I always thought that hooking up with other foreigners would be easy in the Philippines, but that's not true. You're 100% correct. Shit ain't easy at all, man. I don't know why. They be shitting on us too, man. So it's all good. Dennis says, "Have you ever been in a dangerous situation?" Oh yes, I've been in plenty of dangerous situations in the Philippines. But as soon as I found myself in them, I walked away. Like I said, I used to go to the club a lot. Used to go to the bars. Used to go hang out. I was a typical foreigner, but when I used to go hang out, I would go to not like the bars, like the sleazy bars. There were some pretty decent bars that I would go to, just have a drink and have fun. But when you're the only foreigner in the building, you realize that you are on heightened alert. I remember I was invited to a bar by a girl one time. She was like, "Yeah, let's go to this bar. I know this bar." I walked in with her and it's like the fucking music skipped. You understand? You know how when you walk into a club, the music skips and it's almost stops and looks at you. That was exactly what happened to me. And this shit ain't for me. And I walked out. She's like, "Where are we going? Where you going? Where you going?" I want to go hang out here and shit. I'm like, "Girl, you go hang out by yourself if you want to, but I'm not going in there." And she was like, "But why? I like this place. It's a cool place." I'm like, "But I don't know nobody in there but you." She's like, "Oh, it's okay. You'll be safe. You'll be fine." She went home alone that night. I said, "Man, I'm not about to put myself in any situation where I'm gonna get fucked up. I promise you that." Dr. Mike is not the type to put himself in a situation where a confrontation is highly likely to occur. And she was dressed a certain kind of way, looking like she did that night. I was like, "Man, not gonna happen. I can't do that." I can't do that. And I just walked away. I mean, but whenever I find myself in dangerous situations, now if you asking me if I ever had a gun pointed at me or something like that, nah, I'm too smart for that shit. I'm too smart for that. I can't put myself out there like that. My man 010, what's going on, family? He asked me what incidents recently went down with foreigners in the Philippines. There was that guy um who got killed over a land dispute. Back in the day, there was a guy who got killed because he refused to buy some local something to, buy him a drink. I mean, these are just situations that pop off easily. So, I mean, you can read about situations like that. But right now, we were talking about banking situations earlier in my earlier videos. In my earlier video, not videos, but, that stuff is starting to creep into the country too. So you just got to be careful. My man, MMA fan, what's going on, family? Appreciate you coming through and showing some love, man. Appreciate you. I don't know if it's your first time to the channel, but welcome yourself here. Africans genuinely don't like African Americans. Very true. They have their own beef with us, and vice versa. I don't try to involve myself in that shit. Terry Evers, I told you, man, music skip and all eyes was on me. I'm like, God, what? Like, I swear to God, the music skipped. Like, you think the DJ skipped the record? I don't know if it was on purpose or like a scene from a movie, but bruh, that music skipped, and I just saw all eyes look right at the door, and I said, nope, I'm not going in there. It was like a scene from a bad movie, bruh, and I just said, this shit ain't working for me. Mm. Drinking does cloud your judgment. Very true. Observer, I agree. Said got to keep the attitude in check and keep him off percent. But Dr. Mike don't like putting himself in any situation that's going to get himself hurt or get anybody that I know hurt. I'll tell you right now, that shit will never happen. I will literally walk away from everything before I allow shit like that to happen. And then a lot of people have this whole notion that if you walk away, you a bitch or you a punk. And that's kind of what people like to make you feel, right? So you know how, I mean, that's more so in the United States, not in the Philippines, but sometimes they like to make you feel like you a bitch or something because you walked away. Nah. I said it would have been done for me to actually stand there and fight these dudes because he got him and 10 of his boys there and I'm by myself with my chick or with like maybe another homeboy or some shit like that. So, you got to pick your poison, man. If you about that action and you willing to go out on your sword, do you, bro? Do you? My man Davante, what's going on, family? He says I get a lot of love from Africans in Thailand, the men, not the women. Eh? Like I said, man, I've never been to Thailand. I mean, the vibes. Time out. See, now here's what I will say. I mean, if you're talking about Africans in general, African and African Americans in general, I don't want to stop the show for this whole bid, but I'll say it like this: like the African men, yeah, the African men in the Philippines, they're very approachable. They're like, "Hey, what's going on, my brother?" Whatever. Most of them think that you're probably from Africa too until you talk and you tell them that you're not from there. I've never had any problems with them, but if you're like trying to hook up with a chick, that's different. I don't see that being. It's plausible, it is, but it's just highly unlikely most of the time. Hmm. All right, Dennis, I'll see what I could do. I mean, I'm only in Davao, man, so I can only show you uh what I know in Davao City. What kind of hospital I could try to show you in Davao. I could definitely try to put that one together. That's definitely an interesting video if you want to see the difference between a public and a private hospital. I'm not sure if they will let me record though. That's one of the things about hospitals here. They kind of like shut the cameras off, or they kind of don't want you to like show video and stuff like that. So if I can, I will. But Dennis, I'll see what I can do about that one for you. Hmm. So my man says he just got back from the DR and American Cat killed a local girl, so things are tense there. It was in Sosua. Damn. Well, that was oh damn. An American dude killed a local girl. God dang, man. That ain't gonna never go away now. So everybody who goes there, that's trouble. That's trouble, man. I'm glad that you got out. Matter of fact, I am so glad you got out. It is better to walk away alive. I tell you right now, you call me all kind of bitches, punks, pussy, whatever you want to call me. If I walk away and I live to see another day, I'll take that L. You want to know why? Because I could care less what you think about me, anyways. I would rather survive than to sit there and sit there and take an L just because I want to go out on my sword. You know. Hmm. All right. So 010 says that the dude was Nigerian. He was Nigerian born. He was Nigerian born. Okay, that's right. All right, so that's cool. I mean, so the damn, he killed a local girl though. What was the fuck was he thinking? Mm, he's an American citizen. Okay, bro. I'm telling you, I ain't never going to no Philippine jail, bro. I will not let it happen, bro. I'm telling you right now. That shit don't add up, bro. I can't do it. Hmm. That's an interesting story, Dennis. He said a few months ago, three police officers came up on an attempted robbery and were murdered by one man with a knife, and they never caught the perpetrator. Damn. So, do they not have guns in Ho Chi Minh City? Mm, that's weird. That's awful. Whew. My man Carlitos Way, what's going on, family? Appreciate you showing some love to the good doctor today. He says even a guy that can fight will try not to fight. Exactly. I think it is always in your best interest. You know, they teach you that stuff in like self-defense class when you take karate and shit. They try to tell you straight up you don't use your skills for offense, you use them more for defense. So you try your best to, you know, avoid situations from happening, but if you can't, at least you know how to defend yourself. Always the best way to go about it. Mm. Yeah, Dennis, there were no guns there. That's why he got killed with a knife. That's awkward. Mm. But I don't know how to feel about that one. Because I want to say, yeah, no guns, but you just got stabbed up because you couldn't defend yourself. That's weird. Ugh. Mm. Hmm. Hey, Jay and Cookie, what's going on? I appreciate you showing some love to the channel, man. It's all good. Shit, guys, I think we've had a great one today, man. I think this shit right here was one of my better topics, and I gladly, happily enjoyed you guys participating in the chat today. I see we got about 29 or so watching at this particular moment in time. Y'all make sure you get the likes up on the video. The IPA shirts are there at your disposal as always, and definitely if you want to support the channel, you know how you could do so. But I think Dr. Mike is going to go ahead and close this one out in a minute. I felt like we've touched on everything that we possibly can in reference to this particular topic. Hope everybody's enjoyed this particular topic and enjoy participating in it. Your best weapon is your feet and run. John Doe, you bring up some great points, man. I'm telling you, I'd rather just run, man. That's just not worth it. I ain't about to take no ass whooping for nobody, and I damn sure ain't about to die over anything. Nothing is worth my life. No amount of money, none of that is definitely worth anything. I'm definitely gonna have me a cold one, man. I got a headache. Dr. Mike has had one of those days. I'm gonna have a cold one later because I think it's still too early to drink. 10 o'clock in the morning is probably not kosher. But all right, guys, I appreciate you coming through. I don't know if I'll be able to record that one, Dennis, the whitewater rafting. I'd be afraid I'll lose my camera. But again, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shout out everybody real quick. before I go ahead and head out, but I appreciate you guys showing some love. So my man MMA fan, appreciate you coming through, dude. This is your first time, man. Welcome yourself to the family as always. Dennis, appreciate you as always. Yeah, I know where the whitewater rafting is. I think that's in Cagayan de Oro, or they have it in Cagayan. They may have it in other areas too. I'll consider that video, but I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my camera. So I'll try to figure out the best way to go about that one. I'll probably mount it somewhere if I could get like a GoPro or something like that. All right, Dennis, appreciate you showing some love. My man, John Bryan, thank you. My brother, Terry Edwards, thank you. Mr. Fed Up himself, Knighted with the Wrench, appreciate you showing some love. 430, as always, my brother, good to see you in here. John Doe, as always, always a pleasure, my brother. Rob 100, thank you. Jay and Cookie, my brother Jay, thank you for spending some time here. Me, myself, and I appreciate you, my brother. Black Torch, appreciate the love, man. Carlitos, Wayne. Rob, I think I said my man Rob, but if I didn't get Rob 100, see you, my dude. 010, thank you for coming through. I think I got all of you guys. The Observer Melanin, man. It's a pleasure to have you in the building, man. You got to use them Jedi mind tricks to prevent yourself from having to put the hands on somebody. I agree 100%. Delvante, man, appreciate you showing some love to the family, man. Appreciate you spending some time here with the good doctor. I'm gonna get you, my man PT 3005. What's going on, brother? As always, thanks for showing some love to the good doctor today. If I miss your name, make sure you put it at the bottom. I'm gonna make sure that I shout you out before we get out. Smooth Riffs, man. Always a pleasure, my brother. Thank you for showing some love to the good doctor today. Eyes on, my man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for spending some time with Dr. Mike today. I'm gonna make sure I shout you out. If I miss your name, put it at the bottom. I'm telling you. Shit, who else we got in the building? My man Tony Towers was here, man. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you showing some love. Hashtag Team Davao in this bitch. Thank you for showing some love to the family. You know what it is. Derek Floyd, man, appreciate you being here, man. As always, thank you for the love and support that you always bring to the channel, my brother. As always, happy to have you here, and I'm glad to see you participating in the chat. Cornbread, man, thank you for sharing your story. Very interesting story. Kind of fucked up at all the same time, but I do appreciate you sharing. I've never known anybody to personally get kidnapped in a situation like that, so definitely thank you for being brave enough to at least share your story, because I think that I would be freaked out if anything like that ever happened to me as well. So I appreciate you sharing and that, sharing that with us. Malcolm, man, as always, MJB in the place to be, man. Showing some love to you, my brother. My man Fred was in the building. Fred Funky Town, thank you for being here with the family today. Oh man, I think I done touched you all inappropriately. I'm almost there. My man Anti-Gravity was here, man. Anti-Gravity, thank you for showing some love to the good doctor today. Appreciate you and everything that you do for the channel. Pisces 904, thank you, my brother, for spending some time with the good doctor today. Kenny Mack, I see you, family. Montana 27, man, thank you for coming through and showing some love, brother. Salgoose, as always, man, pleasure to have you in the building, man. But you need to be careful, man. They told you not to go out, and you went out and almost got kidnapped. That's fucked up. I ain't trying to hear about you disappearing, man. Can't nobody pay that ransom. All right, so make sure you keep yourself safe. Joe McCray, as always, my brother, thank you for coming through. Dave Wise, man, I see you, my brother. Thank you for spending some time with the good doctor. Cal Winston, appreciate you, my brother. Michael Booth, I saw you here earlier, man. Don't know if you're still with me, but thank you for spending some time with Dr. Mike today. Liz, as always, best in attendance when I see you in the building. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy, your little wrench power. Don't abuse it, but we love you. A-Tech Network always look like he about that action, man. You the type of person that I would love to have around me just in case shit pop off. I don't have to fight. I just look at you and you just go at it. You the type of person I need in my corner. My man Pedro, the IT man, thank you, my brother, for coming through and showing some love. Black Pablo, thank you as always, my dude. Good to see you in the building. And I think that I've touched all of you guys inappropriately. I'm sorry. Andy the Virgo, man, thank you. And I know Rayman was here. Thank you for showing some love to the channel. Tim H, as always, Aaron Wilson, and I think that's all of you guys. I think that I've touched each and every one of you in the worst possible way. And I'm glad that I did, because you make the channel worth it. This channel would be nothing without you guys. And again, I am sincerely happy and satisfied that I have a group of individuals that I can come through, converse with, and have such a great time with. Okay. So, with that being said, Dr. Mike is out. I'm definitely going to make sure that if I miss somebody, I'm going to get it in. All right. Did I miss anybody? Nah. John Doe, as always, man. Always a good one, man. Did I miss you guys? John Doe, I got you, brother. Don't worry about it. I didn't see. I had to find your comments on one of my latest videos so that I can go ahead and put the wrench on the video. I got to click that flag like I'm supposed to, man. So don't worry about it. Your wrench is coming. I did miss out on some people. Don't get your panties in a bunch. It's all good. Oh, hell no, Dennis. I'm sorry, man, but I am not about to go to no Mindanao State University in Iligan. You try to get me kidnapped. That right there, I won't do. I can't go up there, man. I'm nervous to even go past Cagayan, man. I'm nervous to go past there, but yeah, we'll see what we can do, man. But that shit right there, that shit scared the hell out of me. All right, guys. I see you guys. I'm gonna try to see what I can do about these upcoming videos. I'm gonna see if I can put something together. Just give me some time to figure out how I'm gonna do it. Because sometimes you know how they are about cameras in hospitals. I don't know if you guys know that, but they don't really just like people recording shit because you know people are going through personal stuff, and you know you can't really go in like the ER or like the cancer wards and stuff like that with cameras. So I may not be able to put anything like that on camera. Are there any great beaches in Mindanao? There's a few. Yes, in Mati and also in Jensen. There are some pretty good places out there. I think that I got you guys, man. Yep, that is the MIT of the Philippines. It's a big ass school, man. It is a huge, huge school. I just can't go there because I'm scared. John Bryan said he'd been to Iligan and it feels different. You can't explain it. That's why I never go there. I don't go past Cagayan de Oro. I can't do it, brothers. I cannot do it. All right, Dr. Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and call it, man. CDO is bomb, Pedro, man. I love CDO. I just will never, ever, ever go past Cagayan de Oro. I only feel safe in Cagayan. Iligan, it's a toss up, man, and I don't like my chances, man. 50-50 is not a number that I'm comfortable with. I don't know. I don't see Mindanao State. Damn, y'all got me talking and I'm trying to cut it out. All right, Mindanao State is actually a good university. It is, but the location of the university is just a place that I'm not comfortable going. That's all. Oh, so you say I can record in Hope House? I will try to see it. Where exactly is Hope House? Is that in Davao? I don't think that's in Davao. Where do I got to go to find Hope House? All right, guys. Fuck it. Okay. I think we're good. Yeah, Iligan is just not my spot, bruh. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all just gonna have to deal with me. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable going all the way up that way. It's not so much the travel, it's just I'm not sure about the area. Once I hear negative things about a certain area, I kind of just stay off the grid on that one. All right, guys. With that being said, yes. Oh, it is in Davao? Sweet. I'll see what I can do about that one, man. All right, guys. With that being said, Dr. Mike is officially out. At least Nako. Paalam, which means we are going now. Bye-bye. As always, I love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. And the videos that you guys are trying to give or mentioning to me, I'm definitely going to take those into consideration. I'll see what we can do about that. All right. With all that being said, Dr. Mike is out. Peace.